I wonder if anyone is coming to play. I see two people. Togozen, Togozen, Togozen. Please say hi as you come in, guys. Ninjani. Ow. Akweli number. Please say hi as you come in. Ooh, I gotta get something. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right. Togozen, Togozen, Togozen. Hi, guys. Hello. Happy Friday. Ninjani. How's everyone doing? Everyone is doing well? Ah, who's here? Masibulele, Figile, Buyogazi, Lebo, Lebohang, Teboho, Senzeni, Ninjani. Welcome, guys. Nunu. Ha. All my regulars are here. Ni right? Everybody's good. I'm hoping this is a good time for us to start. Tebe Dumi, how are you? Togoza. Masitogozeni, guys. I'm just gonna go. And who catches us in the middle, and so on. Or you can watch on the replay. So, Togozani, Tamakwini, Lesedi Lekanya, Tobela, Ndawe Shewe, Dumelang, Makadini Kwaziwai, Jambo, Kedu, Kilode, Nangadev, Ninjani, Muribwanji, Uzambia. How are you guys doing? So, you may be wondering why I suddenly came up with let's do Palesa. Hi, sweetheart. Hey. So, you may be wondering why it is today or last night when I put up my post, I decided that I was going to talk about witchcraft. Well, I think because, to be honest with you, there are a lot of misconceptions, there are a lot of realities about witchcraft, but I wanted to talk about witchcraft first by making clear. I know that I have people from all over the world who come and who visit this page. And I want to define the way I will be using the term witchcraft here, which is very different from the way Africans in the diaspora and even the Neeless ones use the term witch or witchcraft, right? So in America, for example, the word witchcraft does not immediately mean something bad. The word witchcraft, or to be called a witch, is not a negative thing. Why is that? Because historically speaking, when we speak about witches and we look at where the word comes from, this is a word that was used about, before the 16th century, I think 1650, when the first Anti-Witchcraft Act was enacted in Europe. But before that, the term witch literally meant women who had powers to see things, to do things, to heal, and so on. So the term witch was not a negative term in and of itself, the way it was used then. With the introduction of the Anti-Witchcraft Act, which then came to Africa in the 50s, that term witch was now being used to describe people who did bad things. So now I'm going to use the term witchcraft the way we use it in the African context, where we are distinguishing somebody who practices witchcraft to say somebody who is a healer, right? You've often heard somebody say, well, you know what, don't call yourself a sangoma or inyanga because you are a witch, right? Meaning to say that you cause harm to people, right? So I wanted that understanding so that if you're following me from wherever you are in the world, you understand that when I use the term witch or witchcraft, I'm talking about what in the States they would call dark magic, right? And again, it's got racist connotations because now you've got what they call white magic, you've got black magic. We're not there. When I use the term witchcraft, I'm going to be talking about things that are not good, right? So then the question is, I call this the science of witchcraft, right? What do I mean by the science of witchcraft? Because basically all it is, witchcraft is the manipulation of energy, right? It is the manipulation of energy directed towards something or someone so that I can get what I want. So it's no different in basic terms from what you do when you're doing your manifestations, right? Now then the question becomes, can everybody be a witch? That's debatable because when we're talking about you actually practicing witchcraft, there are some things that start before that. It starts basically with what is going on in your mind. What are your intentions when you are manipulating energy to hurt someone, right? Most things are happening. When people are doing this, it's usually because they are low vibrational. I want you to keep that in your mind. What does low vibrational mean? These are people who are full of pride, they're full of anger, they're full of jealousy, they're full of fear, and they're full of hate, right? These are the people who won't blink an eye to do something to harm somebody, and they will do it without a conscience. They are low vibrational people, and they are people like that, right? Now, what does witchcraft actually look like? Because a lot of people think witchcraft is somebody in their ndumba and fixing this and pouring this and with people's pictures and poking at it with a needle or a knife and so on. There are many ways in which witchcraft is practiced. Some are very simple ways, and I'm not here to teach you guys how to practice witchcraft. Okay, so don't go sharing this live or saving it because I'm going to give you tips of how to practice witchcraft. We are in the season of Ma'at seeks balance. So you always have to reckon with that before you do anything. So, number one, we have all said and know that words are powerful. What is the science of speaking? Right? The science of speaking something out, speak something into existence, speak something out and the universe will respond. What are we doing when we're speaking something out? You're casting a spell, right? So my words, when they come out, the way you guys are hearing me is because the sound coming out of my mouth is literally energy, and it is in waves. And these waves come to yours and then they are translated into whatever words I'm saying so that you can understand me. So basically, the basis of casting a spell or throwing witchcraft at someone can literally be as simple as saying some words out. So and so, you will be sick. I've named someone. I've said what I want to happen to them. That message goes. It doesn't necessarily mean that I've had to kneel down and light things. That's just witchcraft in its simplest. It's when your intention, so everything starts with what's going on in your mind and in your heart. If your heart is full of hate, you're full of anger. Those things, those emotions inform your thoughts. Your thoughts become things. Your thoughts become the witchcraft or the thing that you're going to do to hurt someone. Does that make sense? So that's at its basic. Now, There's some people who practice witchcraft by doing more sophisticated things. But understand that in everything they are doing, they are speaking. In everything they are doing, they are speaking. They are calling your name. They are invoking that thing which they want to happen to you. The other thing is there are people who use spirits. So what they do is they summon the assistance of various different spirits. By the way, all these spirits are also low vibrational. And these spirits are sent out to go and do whatever it is that needs to be done to whoever. So that's why sometimes you are sleeping and you have dreams and you have visitations of weird like creatures who are coming to feed you while you sleep, who are coming to sleep with you, who are coming to do all sorts of you. Some come to try to strangle you, whatever it is. Those are real manifestations of somebody who is throwing witchcraft at you. Right? Simple thing, somebody putting poison in your food is witchcraft. Why? Because the intention there is to harm you. Anytime somebody does that, that is witchcraft. So someone taking poison while you're not looking and putting it in your drink, witchcraft. That's just at the basic definition so that you understand what it is we're talking. I've said in my video on water that water has the power to harm and heal. And there are some people who have the nerve to actually speak to water. For me, water is so sacred and so life-giving. We are all water. We come from water. Mother is water. I would not have the guts to use something so sacred as water to hurt someone, but you can. Because you can manipulate the structure of the crystals in the water so that they can make someone sick. So, you can use anything whose energy you can manipulate to hurt someone, is what I'm trying to say to you, right? You can use a tomato to hurt someone. Why? Because it's got its own electromagnetic frequency, it's got its own energy, which you can manipulate by speaking. And then poking needles into it, and then going and putting it at a crossroads. I'm sorry, it's just, I saw someone doing this once, that's why I'm laughing. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is, the basis of somebody who practices witchcraft is low vibrational energy. They use low vibrational entities and spirits. Therefore, what does this say for you? As a potential target for witchcraft. It's very simple. If you're vibrating high and this person trying to bewitch you is a low vibrational creature who uses low vibrational entity, and you're up here, can they reach you? Can they manipulate your spirit body? Can they manipulate your etheric body? Because what happens with the manipulation of energy is when someone throws something at you like energy, it's the manipulation of your etheric body. So witchcraft starts in the spiritual realm before it manifests in your physical. That's why someone in South Africa can bewitch me over here, because it's about manipulation of energy. That doesn't require that you're in close contact, because it starts in the spiritual realm where you can manipulate these energies. And then once my spirit body, right, my ethereal body has been tampered with, then it starts manifesting, because now there's mess in my spiritual self. Then it starts manifesting in the physical. So if you are high vibrational and this person uses low vibrational entities and themselves is low vibrational, they cannot reach your etheric body because it's intact, number one. Number two, you're vibrating so high, there is a differential there before they can get to you. That's number one. So how do you Loy proof yourself? You LOI-proof yourself by vibrating high. We've talked about this before. Consciousness and vibrating high is very important for several things. One, for manifesting the things that you want, for being in harmony with the cosmos. But two, it's also protective. Remember, the season of Set, we are in the season of Heru, right? The ascension of Heru. We are called to ascend. But then there's Umbidlizi. Set is around. And Set comes in many different ways. Witchcraft is just one of the ways that somebody can try to destroy. And destroy you individually or whatever. So staying high vibrational, and I have this here. And what you know, I think I've shown this scale before. If not, I'm going to put this up on my page. So staying high vibe is something that can prevent you not only from spiritual attacks like witchcraft, but also, of course, from physical diseases, something that we've talked about as well. For witchcraft to work, it has to have an entry point. Its entry point is where you are at vibrational wise. So if there's no entry point, even if someone throws something at you and if there's no entry point, the thing either falls away, or if you're a smart person, when you patla your ancestors, you tell them that anyone who's trying anything, it must go back 10 times. It'll boomerang back to whoever sent it. And then that person, because they tried to lawyer you, will probably accuse you of witchcraft because, well, they tried you and they got hurt. Does this make sense, guys? I need you to understand the importance of consciousness and staying vibrating high. And in the current world we live in, there are so many things that are working against our high vibration, including yourself. One of the things I see a lot, and I've seen it on a couple of my posts, and I will delete those comments. I've warned you guys before. Please do not post your whiny negative comments. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it, because like attracts like. I know it's a struggle out there. I know people are suffering. I'd rather you inbox me your issue than to put it on the page where other people see it who are in the same state as you, and you all congregate around negativity. And you're not helping each other because you're not advising each other wisely. You all go into some pity party. That is low vibrational. You are liable to get taratad if you maintain that state. So, if you know you wrote some whiny comment with some crying eyes, you remove it before I remove it, because it's going to go. It's warfare out there. And so we can't have any sissies. We really cannot. And I know everybody's going through the most. We're all on the spiritual. We're all going through something. But the reason I come on here and talk to you guys like this and teach is so that you understand that you're not alone in all this. And also for you to understand, I want to drive it home how you put yourself in danger by staying in this low vibrational state. Here. Greed, avarice, jealousy, anger, self-pity, self-loathing. These are things that lower your vibration, and that low vibration is the entry point of anyone who wants to hurt you. Spiritually, that is. When you vibrate high, you are high and your etheric body is intact, and it literally almost radiates this way out. So anything that tries to stick cannot. Anyway, it can't get that high because you're high vibrating. So you stay low vibe at your own risk. Unforgiveness, this wound, this deep wound that you have, that you've been nursing because for some reason it serves you to be a victim. You gotta heal that. because it literally lowers your vibration. And if you're chronically vibrating low, number one, you're hurting your own physical body. And number two, again, entry point for people who do want to hurt you. So now that you understand the energetics and the science around witchcraft, there you have it. The other thing, so another way in which, and I'm going to speak this because it's also very important, is most of you have heard me say on some of my videos that your ancestors are your first line of defense against anything or anyone who wants to harm you. That is true, which is why making sure umsamo, meaning your ancestral, your blood ancestral line is okay and alive and well is also important. Right? There's no point trying to patter to people who are imprisoned or patter to people who are asleep or patter to people who are exhausted, who cannot, and when I say people, I'm talking about these spirits, which is again energy. You have to innovate or energize these spirits so that they are high vibing too, and they can be your defense. That's why I'm making sure you're connected to your ancestors through uphahla, and whatever other rituals, people have different rituals within families that need to be done to take care of your ancestors. It's necessary and very important that these things are taken care of, because quite frankly, if it's not, then your ancestors aren't doing their job. And your ancestors' job, once they've crossed over, is to make sure that you're okay because you're their legacy. They have every reason to want to ensure your success. But sometimes they cannot, because there are certain things or rituals that have not been done that assist them in ascending. Right? So those are two things. Number one starts with the self. Work on you to make sure you're vibrating high. Then the second part is making sure that your bloodline ancestors are taken care of. Those who need cleansing are cleansed. And there's so many things that may need to happen for your bloodline ancestors. Right? And then Pasha, call on them. Don't just take it for granted that they're going to take care of you because that's their job. It's a relationship that you're trying to build with them. So you build and you work on that relationship. Does any of this make sense? No, someone says, thanks very much. Love your teachings. No, you're welcome. You're most welcome. Right? So now you've sorted out your ancestral issues. You are partnering your ancestors. Well, what about your home, right? So you've got all this protection. You yourself are vibing high. Great. There is this thing called uqinisa umuzi. What does that mean? We are basically meaning to protect your home or your space. Now, I'm not talking about a rental property. I'm not talking about, where you're squatting. No, I'm talking about a home that is in your name. In most cases, what needs to happen is that space needs a thorough cleansing. And then after that, your ancestors are brought in and introduced into this home, ukuzinziswa ekhaya. And they are told, this is where we are now. This is also your home. And please protect everyone and everything that is in this space, blah, blah, blah. Then this home gets protected. It's usually within four corners. In some cultures, there's a particular tree that is known. Once you speak to it and you plant it, that tree is protective. So you can't protect yourself and then not protect your property and not protect your home. Doesn't make sense. Because people are after your things too. That's probably why they're after you in the first place, is because of everything you have. It's so sad because a lot of the time people are after what is material from you. And what is also sad is that bewitching you does not necessarily give them those things that you have. Isn't that sad? You go and try to destroy someone over something you can't have anyway. So you kill someone because they've got a fancy house, they've got a nice car, they've got, you know, they're happy. How does that improve your life? But you see, somebody who's low vibrational does not ask themselves those questions. Because why? They are consumed by those low vibrational emotions. They don't introspect. Right? So those are some ways in which you can help yourself in terms of this whole UBUTHAKATHI thing. You know, there's some people who say it doesn't exist. It's entirely up to you. That's what you believe, but my knowledge tells me that it does exist. People are manipulating energy. People are hurting other people out there through the manipulation of energy. The same way that you can heal someone through the manipulation of energy. It's the same thing with like herbs, imiti. As a healer, this one herb in my hands will work very differently from herbs, the same herb in another healer's hands. Why? Mostly because of how we, what I call charging it. What do we speak into this herb? And the power with which you speak it. And for those of us who are ancestrally gifted, that then includes these ancestors who have gifted you that work. So you find somebody is selling a jar of, I don't know, hlonyane here and hlonyane there. And we can charge herbs that are known to do generic, the same thing. Can look it up. This herb does this, this. But if I want to help someone with a specific problem, I can take that herb and charge it to that problem and tell it to go and heal that particular problem. Right? So I wanted you guys to just understand the science, especially for yourselves. Every time you see me post something about stay high vibe, it's literally because it's a way of making sure that you create boundaries between yourself and those low vibrational entities and low vibrational people. And on the subject of low vibrational entities, here's the other thing that you guys need to know. This is why sometimes I say you're responsible for the things that end up happening to you. We have spirits everywhere, guys. Okay? As I'm sitting here, who knows what spirits might be here. I'm not checking for them right now. But we have spirits everywhere. We have benevolent spirits. We have spirits that are low vibrational. We shouldn't be in this space and probably not. But point is, there are spirits everywhere. You cannot see them. And there's always the thing is, you cannot fight something you cannot see with the naked eye. Right? What are you going to use? It gets murky out there because you don't see what you're fighting. However, here's some tips for you guys. There's certain things or foods that you consume that will lower your vibration and make it possible for any roaming entities or spirits to go, I think I can go and talk to that one. So consistently staying drunk, you are drinking, that lowers your vibration because number one, it makes you sick. Your liver can only take so much of your alcohol. And you may not feel that you've taken a lot. But once your organ system is compromised, you've also compromised your vibrational frequency. There's certain low vibe behaviors that people engage in, low vibrational behaviors that you engage in that lay you vulnerable and open to spiritual attacks and interaction with negative spiritual entities. I might want to think about that. So as we are in this war, this spiritual warfare, I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how you can really help yourself. and being in my art, right? I don't know if I've posted the 42 principles of my art. Balance. Ensuring that you are in my art. These are like, what I love about the laws of my art is they all start with I. So they don't externalize a power the way, say, the 10 Commandments do, and externalize and then create a God who says, you shall not, thou shalt not. No. These laws are literally about you self-regulating and getting yourself correct and getting yourself into balance. If you stay conscious, if you stay in my art and you stay high vibe, you are going to be fine. I did some TikTok teachings on how to increase your vibrational frequency. So they're there on my page. You can go and look at them. I think it's part 1 to 5 where I talked about that. And I think I enumerate what you can do in order to stay high vibe. That's where I'm seeing people with their whiny comments. Hey, Nina. No, not here. You're not allowed to do that here. I don't want any negativity around me. I really don't. And your comments, like I said, have the effect of attracting other people who are like you. And then you're a whole band of negative people. And it's negative comment after negative comment. And it lowers everybody else's vibration, even if you are vibing high. Now you've read 10 comments of people who are telling their sob stories to each other. No. If you need help, you know where to find me. And even then, you only get so much room to wallow in self-pity, and then I got to kick you in the butt. You can't stay low vibrational for too long. So, that having been said, let me see if this is a great teaching as we do and eat things that are not right for our body. Yes. It's so hard for me to know where to teach the whole food thing. It's so hard for me to know whether to teach it on Kemet, on the health section or here. But that shows you how everything is interlinked. What you're putting into your body determines your vibrational state. So you can do all the meditation you like, but if you are eating things that harm your physical body, if you're in a state of dis-ease in your physical body, trust me, your vibration is going to plummet because your aura is going to be affected. Remember, the source of your aura or your energetic body is your chakras. Starting here, then there's the one here in your throat, and. Those energy wheels and how they move energy from one wheel into the next, they can get blocked based on what you are eating. They can get blocked based on what you are consuming with your eyes, with your ears, what's going on around you. And once that happens, your vibration is lowered. Now, another important thing about this whole vibrational thing, which is why it is important to engage in spiritual work. It is important in engaging in personal spiritual work is because most people are vibrating somewhere between here and here. So they're kind of staying here. It takes a lot of work for you to get into this place, especially the heart space, where you're radiating love. And it is harder still to get to the place where you get to your throat chakra and then your third eye. As for this one here, we are working towards that one, right? Where you're truly enlightened being who can levitate off the ground. But what I'm trying to say is we're all a work in progress, but you will continue to go back and forth here, right? You will continue to go back and forth here if you don't do deep healing. Like I said, these deep wounds we have, be it the mother wound, be it the father wound, be it something traumatic that happened to you that you've literally like had amnesia for, like you've shut it down, you don't want to go there. Most people stay away from certain things because it triggers them. A trigger is not a bad thing. A trigger is something that is showing you that there is a place deep in you that needs healing. So when you're triggered, stop trying to run away by distracting yourself. You're not going to perish. You're not going to fall apart if you face whatever it is you need to face. Trust me. Is it painful? Yes. Because you literally have to relive that thing. But the reason you're triggered is because that pain, that trauma is literally in your cells. It's not here. By the time you have the flash, it's because your cells, your cellular memory has been activated. That's what causes the flash. Because you're feeling the thing happening to you all over again. Please sit with it. If you need someone to help you, sit with it. Sit with it. Because that is the only way you will finally work it out of your system once and for all. This is important, guys. This is very important. It's important on so many levels of you as a spirit being having a human experience. Because like I said, witchcraft that has found its way in can literally derail your destiny. It derails your destiny. It'll derail your purpose. Which, by the way, if you knew your purpose, you're most likely vibrating high. Might have some work to do, but you're vibrating high enough that, you know what? Because you know who you are, because you know why you were put here on this planet, in this time-space continuum. You know this, and you walk in that knowledge. Most people who are like that are very content and are happy. We vibe high. So then you're difficult to do anything to if you know who you are. See, it all circles round. It's like one vicious cycle. We're going round in circles because it's all intertwined. If you don't know your purpose, guess what happens? You're frustrated, you're angry, you're anxious, you live in fear of tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow. Some live in fear of what if I die today and I've died and I haven't done what I came here to do. Fear, low vibe. So get right with yourself so that you're vibrating high enough so that you have adequate protection from people throwing. Another thing that you need to do too is please do stay away from people who affect your energy negatively. That may be in real time, as in physical time. That, especially here on social media, let me tell you, there's some toxic people who, if you spend 1 minute on their page, you come away feeling so low for the rest of the day. See, that is someone you need to block, because when you're vibing low, you are at the mercy of any and everything out there. You're at the mercy of wicked people. You're at the mercy of negative entities. You're at the mercy of negative spirits. And worse still, you become a magnet for other negative people. So that thing that you are attracts others like you. And what does that do? You just sink even further. Get yourself around high vibrating people. We have a lot of spiritual teachers here. Beautiful, amazing people. But then we also have so-called spiritual teachers whose very energy you see and you're like, why are you staying there? To do what? Because whether you believe it or not, you're taking in something that is going to go into your subconscious. How many of you actually feel good after watching somebody speak a negative talk? Do you feel good? check in with your feelings. Because if you don't feel good, then you had no business there in the first place. Now you got to work hard to get yourself high vibing again. For what? Part of vibrating high is surround yourself with beautiful things. Read beautiful things. Learn, study things that give you that aha moment, that ignite that DNA memory, because as it's ignited, you vibe high. Consciousness. Be around people who make you laugh, whether it be online, whether it be in real time. Avoid negative people. Can't say this enough. Sometimes they are family members. I avoid them too. Keep your contact with such people to a minimum. Because we're all under this impression that just because we're all family, we just gotta... There's some family members whose energy is such that it's literally preventing you from progressing. Not because they're directly doing something to manipulate or back-target, but being around them lowers your frequency so much. It is so draining. You literally have no energy to do anything when you're around that person. Now, why would you let that person come to your house and stay 3 months? And you know, we have this cultural thing that when someone visits, you don't ask them, when are you going back? Get into the habit of asking that auntie when they are leaving. You know, protect your children around negative people. You know, when I was a kid, one of the things that I used to get into trouble for is because somebody, you know, would come ekaya and everybody would greet this person and everything, and I would literally refuse. They would say, come and shake my hand. I would refuse. To the point where, you know, adults will say, no, you're being rude. Go. My grandmother knew there was something weird about me. She would simply take me and she'd just say, no, and make excuses for me. Because I could sense energy and I wasn't going near this person. It got worse as I grew a little older. This is about 3. But when I grew about 4, 5, 6, I would literally say, Vanoroya, meaning tagata. Now, there are people within our families who do these things. Children feel them. Stop forcing your children to interact with people that they are shying away from because they are so innocent and their spirit, body, and aura is so pure. They literally cannot. They are repulsed by this negative person. Stop pushing your children into such people's arms. Haibo. You are your children's first protector and no one else. And when you do that to your kids, you know what you're teaching them? You're invalidating their sixth sense. You're invalidating that sense that they have that they are in danger. You are now laying them open to any predator, anyone out there, because you have crossed, you've crossed their boundary by pushing them towards someone they don't want to go towards. Pay attention to your kids. Your kids can tell you if a mtagati walks in the door just by their language, their body language, how they behave. Some kids will cry all night if somebody comes to visit who's not okay. All night they will cry. Be conscious of such things because that's the one way that you will have insight into who's who to avoid, who to protect yourself from, who to LOOI-proof yourself from, so that you can be safe. Talking about family, how does one deal with enemy that is at home? An enemy that makes sure the ancestors' rituals are not done well. Whew, that's a big question. I guess it would depend on what rituals we're talking about, right? Is this person the only person responsible for umsamo? I know that in some cultures it's only, which is so BS, like I'm going to call it out. I don't care what you say. This whole thing is BS, that the only person who can go and pasha umsamo is some male. Endlini kagogo, no less. Sis. Women are the ones who hold the spirituality. And so all this other nonsense, miss me with that. However, Why I'm asking it depends on what ritual is. If somebody doesn't want to do a ritual that is a family ritual, that's a tough one. I've had kids that I've told, well, you know what? If you can't do this ritual at home, you're an adult. We'll go. We'll get whatever we need. Goat, chickens. We'll go do the ritual in Fulen. Come and meet you there. You can do the same. If you find it difficult to patla in your home, get your stuff, your patla kit, and go to the river. Or go to Estuluini. Wherever it is that you feel that you can go and connect. And go and patla there. It's about your life. And that's the thing. Stop putting your life in somebody else's hands. It's about your life, your purpose. These ancestors are there for you too. You have every right to access them when and how as you need them. Let's say a family member, UBUTHAKATHI, can see you are gifted. Yeah, they all can. What about it? What about it? They can't do anything to you if you're high vibing. They can't do anything to you if we are phahla for protection. So what? They know. They all know. So you have to find ways of protecting yourself against those family members. Because the problem with family is they have some secret that maybe other Batakati don't have. Your DNA. Right? If you share DNA with someone, it can be problematic. But there's still ways in which you can protect yourself. That's the other thing I was going to say, to Loy-proof yourself, guys. Please stop going to people's houses and leaving your clothes or leaving your comb full of your hair and leaving your soiled menstrual pads. You wrap them in a tissue and you put them in a little trash can in the bathroom. Hey! You are leaving a wealth. In fact, you're leaving who you are when you do that. You want to be really careful. When I was growing up, I used to get so upset whenever my grandmother would say, no sharing of clothes, no sharing of skirts, no sharing of belts. No, 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 no. Why? But as I grew older, I started to understand why. Be careful also, for those of you who've got buddies, Ochomi, my friend, my this. Careful who you bring into your space for the so-called sleepover. She came, she spent the night. Yeah, people are doing crazy things out there. Yeah. And listen to your instinct. If at any time you think something or you feel something is wrong, don't second guess yourself. It means something is wrong. Go with that. You're better safe than sorry. Right? Find effective ways of disposing of, say, your soiled sanitary pads. I'd say burn them, is what I'd say. Burn them, and then wherever it is you burn them, pour some water on there. I don't know, throw some salt and keep it moving. Because people are desperate. People are desperate out there. I don't know if you guys heard the story of, I saw it on social media. Apparently there was a girl who posted that she was so shaken because some guy approached her while she was sitting at a restaurant. And he said to her, look, for your soiled sanitary pads, I'm going to give you 15K. And she was so shaken because, yeah, she was actually on her period. So for her, it was like, first and foremost, how does he even know? And he was literally offering her 15K for one soiled pad. Now, like, first and foremost, you'd have to, well, people are greedy, right? People are greedy, people are desperate. Because I was going to say, you have to be really, like, stupid to actually give someone something like that. But then I took that back because people are doing greedy things. Just like this person is probably operating something that will give him 20 times more than the 15K he's given you. Plus, you've probably given over your life in some way, shape, or form. You gotta be careful out there. What is that family will make you... Why is that family will make you to be the mthakathi? I don't understand your question. How does anyone make you to be umthakathi? I don't understand why everybody hurts me. They literally get hurt the way I want, and I'm not using muti. Is it my ancestors fighting me? I don't understand your question. I don't understand why everyone who hurts me, they will literally get hurt the way you want and not using any muti. Okay, if I understand you correctly, you mean somebody who's tried to hurt you will themselves end up hurt. Yeah, somebody could be fighting for you, right? So it may not necessarily be that they threw something at you, unless you've pattered the patla that anyone who tries to throw something at me may go back. If you know you've said that prayer, then yeah, this is you counteracting somebody trying to hurt you. And you're allowed to do that, very much so. That is self-defense. We are not Christuses who say, slap me and then I'll give you my other seat to slap. If you come for me, I'm coming after you 20 times over. Just know. So yes, you have every right to defend yourself. And you have every right to throw things back at people who are throwing things at you. Right? Have you ever seen a war, guys, where there are two soldiers fighting, or however many, and somebody's firing bullets, and all you do is just dodge the... You've got a gun, but you're dodging the bullets. Hi! One of those bullets will hit you. So what do? You fire back. Common sense. This is no difference in spirituality. Can't sit there like a lame duck. So someone can come and ketula you. You have every right to defend yourself. Someone comes for you, go for them. Because if it's about death, who won't die? You won't die. No. If someone's got to die, it certainly won't be me. So, yeah. What else? Toza Gokunkanyezi speaks. Toza, that story shook me, yo. Oh, you mean the story of the woman with that guy, yeah. So when mthakathi, let's see what this is. So when mthakathi stays in your households, let's say your brother, you fight to go to the river, even when they bewitch umsamo, you can still fight. Yes. Remember, before you have your bloodline ancestors, we have the principles. We have Umvelingani, we have Unomkubulwane, we have Oheru, we have Osehmet. We have these powerful energetic principles that are higher order than your bloodline ancestors. So yes, absolutely. You can fight that buthakathi by connecting with those higher energy principles. Just like we're doing this season of Heru. I told you that we are invoking Heru this season because Set and his army are out and about looking for whom to devour. So, not that I don't patla my own, but my main patla, which we use, where's the patla book? I've forgotten where. Is nayo umpatlo, the one that we use for collective umpatlo and even for personal, where we patla these higher cosmic energies, not to the neglect of our own, but our own are governed by these energies too. So if you're patlaing at the highest level to these higher, I don't know what you want to call them, angelic beings, higher principles, higher energies, you're good, you're safe. So even if they've taken umsamowagini and caused it, and they've made a whole mess of that, it's not the be-all and the end-all for you. You have recourse to higher powers. Use it. Does this make sense? Same here. I heard if you dream about someone buys you a baby. I'm not doing dream interpretation, guys. And you guys, I write this so often. I do not do dream interpretation outside of a consultation because nowadays, in the season we're in, there really is no standard way of dreaming. You know how people would be like, you dream snakes, this is umdao. You dream this. Asekho lapho now. People are dreaming spaceships. People are dreaming dragons. People are dreaming dinosaurs. So it's not standard. I need context in order to help you interpret your dream. So any other questions? I'm trying to see if anyone has any other questions. Guys, please share this live out. If you know you have a Mthakathi friend, share this out to them and say, Tsala, here's a live I thought you'd be very interested in. Please post the one I missed. Post this one. Yeah, I post all my lives. I never delete them. I'm looking for more questions. Now you're reminding me of my childhood, but I never understood. Okay, don't see anymore. Talking about family, okay. Enemy does ritual, okay. I hope I answered your question, Lebohang. It's important to me to know that I answered your question because, like I said, part of the higher level principles. Right? Where are we? Sis, I don't understand why. Okay, dealt with that. New Mthakathi house. I love your personality. You're making the life more interesting. Oh, thank you, Mamngane. Hlatshwayo. Yo, I have so many hlatshwayos. You guys, are you sensing that I'm your child? My mother's side of the family is from the Hlatshwayo clan. Eswatini, Mpumalanga area. So, yes, Mamngane bamagcwala la. Same here, I heard of it. Okay, I had a dream. Someone buys you. Okay. She's like, go. What does it mean when my daughter dreamt of her eye? No, I'm not doing dream interpretation. You made my whole year telling me I can fight an enemy that is at home. Yes, you can. Stay high vibing, Patha higher principles. Matter of fact, you should find out who your principal is on the African calendar. You know? Because knowing that is literally knowing who you are, right? And then you just follow the calendar to see what season we're in and who we're patharing. And it doesn't prevent you from patharing any of the others, you know, at any time you feel you need to invoke. Sekhmet is a healer, but Sekhmet uyathagatha futhi uyashisa yonke into. So at times when things are shivering, yeah, you can call on Sekhmet. Ne? Remember, all of the principles have an imprint in you because as above, so below. These are the principles that we use to create the cosmos and to create you. So yonke into iyahlangana, you know. I have a bit of Heru in me. I have a bit of Anpu. I even have a bit of Set. We have all these principles somewhat somehow represented in us because they really are just the electromagnetic energy, number one. Number two, they're also the elements that make up the universe and therefore make us up. We are nothing more than the universe having an experience of itself. So when people say, I am the universe is in me, the universe is me, it's not hocus pocus and neither is it some kind of esoteric, it's the truth. And I'm going to do some teaching on that and show you graphics that will astound you in terms of how every aspect, our organs, our eyes, everything can be mirrored up in the cosmos. Because we're made of the same stuff. Mainly melanin. Tina Magwantu. I will recap, go log on it. Can I please have the name of the trees that we plant to protect the home? I don't know them off the top of my head. But there are plenty of them. There are plenty. Some are cactuses. Gogo, how does one get hold of the vibrational chart on this live? I'm going to post it, and because it's going to be a photograph, you can literally download it. Where to download? You don't download the calendar. You have to get the calendar through GEK, gekmovement.org. So if you go there, you'll see the calendar and you'll see the calendar prayer book as well. Thank you. I knew nothing about African spirituality until I started. Oh, that is so sweet. Well, welcome home. Welcome home. Sekayala. This is home. This way we all get together to try to grow and to try to decolonize our minds around the things, they messed us up. What happens, Gogo, when one hears from a consultation that mother-in-law is doing things to her son, and then another consultation says it's not her, but she's doing things to protect him from you, and yet you do not use muti? Would this impact the son and his wife? Well, anytime anyone tries to manipulate your energies, it will have an impact. And depending on what their intention with manipulating either the son's energy or the bond between the two of you, or manipulating your energies so that you guys are no longer aligned, if the intention is to destroy your marriage, yeah, it can work. The thing is, you get two conflicting messages from consultations. I would do a third consultation just to make sure that, well, look, you got one here that says this, one here that says this, two that say the opposite thing. So do a third to see that you can, to see if you can get to the bottom of this so that you know what you can do for yourself or what someone can do to help you. Can we place the calendar of the principles? What do you mean, can we place it? I don't understand that. Since I started following my African principle, I truly notice how Goddess Sekhmet protects me. Scary at times. Yes. Yeah, these cosmic beings are real and they're alive. And there are a lot of people who think it's all outside. You see, religion messed us up because religion taught us that God is outside of ourselves. So by externalizing God, or the God energy, or cosmic energies or principles, they were then able to give God a human face that is like them, white. And therefore, every time you thought of God, you thought of a white person. Every time you saw a white person, you had that almost subconscious fear because that's God. Do you see the fuckery? Like, they messed us up big time. So, yeah. So we're going back to aligning with the truth, which is nature. All nature. The sun, the moon, the stars, constellation of stars, the planets, how they affect us all. And this major, major thing that these things and whatever has created them and placed them where they are is not outside of us. So, I received your response. Okay. Toza Gogo, how do we consult without you? A lot of what you've been saying has been making sense to me. How do you mean? How do you consult without me? I don't know. Do you want to consult me? If you want to consult with me, just get in DM and then we can arrange it. So, guys, I think I don't see any more questions. So, can I say goodbye? Can I say goodbye? I told my siblings, bangi bangi sa idlozi. I don't understand why. Many of us don't understand why people do the things they do, but my sense is probably if you are spiritually gifted, then that is something that they want. Look, while there are many people who moan and complain about being spiritually gifted, there are many people out there who recognize what an honor and how prestigious it is to be the chosen one or among the chosen ones in your family. Number one. Number two, there are many, and this is where it gets stupid and that low vibrational energy comes. There are many who want this gift merely for the benefits that they perceive they will get, i.e. wealth. Oh, telling I've got a more powerful dlozi than you. I've got a more powerful dlozi than you. My dlozi, my mdao, my nzunza, my what? People are destroying each other for these spirits in the hope that they get them so that they can get wealthy. Let me tell you something about spirits. Intention is everything. We're dealing with highly intelligent spirits who have read your intention before you've even opened your mouth. They have scanned you and read you. I don't know who people are trying to fool, but there it is. A lot of our spiritual gifts are given to us so that we can be of service to other people. So when you are not being of service to other people, if you're duping people, we are tagata, we are tugabantu. These same spirits in their purity will literally distance themselves. How do they distance themselves? Because you are low vibrating and they are high. So it's not like they're moving to go away from you. You are moving to go away from them. Nyakulunge. I think if people understood the science of spirit, they might move a little bit different. I don't know whether that would change who they are if they're just a bitter, miserable person, but they would at least understand why it is they can claim, I have this high power spirit, and yet and still everything they touch falls apart. And they take it, and then it's a vicious cycle because now your things are falling apart. You take it out on the people around you. This one wants my gift. This one wants my gift. This one untwebulile. This one did this. This one is bad. This organization bad. Hey, and you think that this high power, pure spirit is just, you're just sinking lower and lower, and this spirit is just watching you like, okay. That's if you even had that gift to begin with. I'm starting to doubt a lot of people. See, my thing is this. If you are highly gifted and you have powerful ancestors, let us see by izenzo zako. Your actions will tell us. You can yap all you want, but if there are no physical manifestations of this power, we ask ourselves a lot of questions. And if all you do every single day is not hold yourself accountable for some of the foolery you do, but blame every other person around you. Like when I say every, I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but like every person, every person around you will get hit. And it's like, surely it can't be that every person is out for you. Have you ever sat down and thought about yourself, who you are, what it is you're doing? What are you projecting out there? And do that work, right? So I was telling my siblings, yeah. So what happens, Gogo, when, okay. I don't see any more questions, guys. Towards how do we, okay, I've told you that. Towards I received your response. Qualified healer here. Are you still, as a qualified healer, are you still taking initiates that are directed to you? Yeah. The initiates that I take, there are specific things that they see and I see. So it's not just everybody. I still am of the firm belief that you just don't take yourself to a gobela or a mentor to say, here I am, help me. It doesn't work like that. It's literally a conversation that happens in the spirit realm between those who walk with me and those who walk with you. When there is an agreement that this is how it's going to be, and they agree that I am the one who can assist umtana wabo, they will come to you. Your ancestors communicate with you. Mine will do the same with me to say, don't be surprised if somebody who has like this. And usually when they come, it's like, click. Yeah. And it has a lot to do also with the rank at which I am now versus what I was 2 years ago. So that's why I say it's not a standard thing where this and therefore it doesn't work like that. And really, this is something, Lebo, you need to pasha properly for. Please don't go knocking door to door saying, hey, I'm here to Twasa. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't be impatient. Phahla, phahla, be patient. And yes, I know some people say you're not always shown where to go. Sometimes it's a sense or a feeling that you have. It's easy. Consult that person then. And see what comes out of the consultation. It could be that by consulting, things are revealed that show you that literally I'm home, right? But don't just off the top of your head, like you're seeing me. If this is your first time seeing me, I would, don't do that to yourself. It's dangerous out there. What else we got? Okay, guys. So I think we have exhausted this topic, at least as far as I can take it, right? So stay safe out there. Do good by yourself. And I'll see you next time. Next time you see me, I'll probably be on the Kemet page because I might just tie what I'm talking about to food and to supplements so that you guys understand how it is important to work on different levels in order to get yourself right. Ne? I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry if you felt like sometimes I was harsh, but sometimes I think I need to be. I'm a coach also, so sometimes I know that always being softy doesn't always get people to where they need to be. Sometimes you need to, hey, so people get to where they need to get to. So I'm wishing you a fantastic weekend. Take good care of yourselves and see you guys soon. Love you all. So was it.